Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we will be discussing what MLMs are they profitable, and why are they still legal? According to Wikipedia, a multi-level marketing, also called network marketing or pyramid selling, is a controversial marketing strategy for the sale of products or services where revenue of the MLM company is derived from non-salaried workforce selling the company's products or services, while the earnings of the participants are derived from pyramid-shaped or binary compensation commission system. Still confused? Let us see how FTC describes it. For those of you who do not know, FTC stands for Federal Trade Commission. It is an independent body of the US government that protects consumer rights amongst other things. According to them, MLM companies sell their products or services through person-to-person sales. This means that you are selling directly to other people, maybe from your home, a customer's home, or online. If you join an MLM program, the company may refer to you as an independent distributor, participant, or contractor, not an employee. Most MLMs say that you can make money two ways. Firstly, by selling the MLM's product yourself to retail customers who are not involved in the MLM. And secondly, by recruiting new distributors and earning commissions based on what they buy and their sales to retail customers. You recruit, the people they recruit, and so on becomes your sales network or downline. To understand this better, let us assume that person A starts a company with an MLM as a business model. A recruits B and C to sell the company's product and further recruit more distributors. This process continues. A part of the profit made by selling and buying the product by B and C and the recruits will go to A. Similarly, a part of the profit made by B and C's recruits will go to them. This means that the further you are from the top, the less you make. In fact, more often than not, it is only the people at the top that make the money. It is practically impossible for majority of the participants to make a significant profit. This sounds awfully like a pyramid scheme. That is because MLM is derived from a pyramid scheme. It just blurs the line enough to make MLMs legal. The important question is how to differentiate between them. The Consumer Protection Office of Attorney gives the following differences. According to them, multi-level marketing or network marketing is individuals selling products to the public, often by word of mouth and direct sales. The main idea behind MLM strategy is to promote maximum number of distributors for the profit and exponentially increase the sales force. The promoters get commission on the sale of the product as well as compensation for sales their recruits make. Thus, the compensation plan in multi-level marketing is structured such that commission is paid to individuals at multiple levels when a single sale is made, and commission depends on the total volume of the sales generated. Pyramid schemes are, however, fraudulent schemes, disguised as an MLM strategy. The difference between a pyramid scheme and a lawful MLM program is that there is no real product that is sold in a pyramid scheme. Participants attempt to make money solely by recruiting new participants into the program. The hallmark of these schemes is the promise of sky-high returns in short period of time for doing nothing other than handing over your money and getting others to do the same. You see what I am saying? They both are essentially the same except for a few tweaks. In MLMs, you can make money by both finding more distributors and selling the products, while in a pyramid scheme, you make money only by recruiting. However, in MLMs, significantly more profit is made through recruitment, therefore more emphasis is put on recruiting rather than selling the product. According to one source, on an average, only 1 to 2% of the independent consultants make significant enough profits. A research called The Case for and Against Multi-Level Marketing by John M. Taylor analyzed the profitability of MLMs. The research is quite thorough and I recommend you check it out. Links to all my sources is in the description box below. The study says the vast majority of commissions paid by MLM companies go to a tiny percentage of top of the pyramid promoters at the expense of revolving doors of recruits, 99% of whom lose money. This is after subtracting purchases they must make to qualify for commissions and advancement in the scheme, to say nothing of the minimal operating expenses for conducting an aggressive recruitment campaign, which, based on the compensation plans, is essential to get into the profit column. This essentially means if you want to make a profit, you have to recruit. Otherwise, you will end up losing money. The study also points out many deceptive practices of MLMs, such as presenting MLM as a business opportunity or income opportunity, which is a misrepresentation, and the MLM's practice of comparing only currently active participants with successful participants who have been there for many years. This greatly skews the numbers in their favor and helps in marketing and deceiving people into joining them. Let's take a specific example to understand how severe this issue is. In 1980, as a part of a suit against Amway, an investigation was undertaken by the Office of Attorney General for the state of Wisconsin. Out of approximately 20,000 distributors operating in Wisconsin, state tax returns were obtained for all of the Amway direct distributors in Wisconsin, which numbered about 200, which represented approximately the top 1% distributors in Wisconsin. Though these were supposedly the top distributors in the state with an average gross profit of $12,500, the average net income after subtracting the operating expenses for these 200 top Amway distributors was about minus $900. Approximately 2 distributors who operated profitably out of 20,000 total distributors yields a 1 in 10,000 ratio, which is decidedly uneconomic. Therefore, until and unless you are nearly at the top of the hierarchy, it is nearly impossible to earn anything. Rather, it is far more likely that you will end up losing money. Why does this happen? Why do only the people at the top earn a profit? MLM compensation plan assumes an infinite market and a virgin market, neither of which exists in the real world. MLM is therefore inherently flawed, unfair, and deceptive. This means MLMs sell the idea that the market of the product is infinite and untouched, which is simply not true. This means that there are only so many people who would want to buy the product. So the lower you are in the pyramid, the less number of people are available who are willing to buy the product. Van Ruff's blog points out another big issue in the MLM structure. They explain, MLMs have no control mechanism at all. Where is the switch that can be flipped in an MLM when enough salespeople are hired? In a normal company, a manager says, "We have enough, let's stop hiring people at this point." But in an MLM, there is no way to do this. An MLM is a human churning machine with no off button. Out of control by design, its gears will grind up the money, time, credibility, and entrepreneurial energy of well-meaning people who joined merely to supplement their income. There is simply no way to avoid the built-in failure mechanisms of MLMs. If a company chooses to market this way, it will eventually hire, with no base pay and charging to join, far too many people. Thus, the only control system will be the inevitable losses and subsequent bad image the MLM company will gain after it does what it is designed to do: fail. MLM are doomed by design to reach market saturation and thus put the people who are legitimately trying to sell the product into a difficult situation. Both possible avenues of earning an income through sale of product and recruiting new people are doomed to fail. Then why are MLMs legal? They are destined to doom and will only profit those at the top. The National Law Review, an American law journal, says that the opponents of the legislation, often non-lawyers, invariably make the bold assertion that for decades, the courts have held that the critical difference between a legitimate MLM business and a pyramid scheme is that MLM's revenue must come primarily from the sale of products and services to retail customers unaffiliated with the business opportunity. This assertion misrepresents the law. So, as long as the profits made from the sale of the product exceed the profits made from recruitment, the company is legal. This is rarely the case. Even if these conditions are satisfied, it will only happen in the initial phase of the company. It will eventually become recruitment focused. A Redditor named Chotel Gafov very efficiently summarized the situation. He says, the companies, that is, the MLMs, claim that their representatives are selling products to real customers not affiliated with the business, so have been able to skirt the law. The reality is that most multi-level marketing companies, virtually all income is derived from commissions from the people you recruit. 99% of the products purchased is for self-consumption. This also makes them de facto pyramid schemes regardless of whether or not the law recognizes this. One reason that there are virtually no outside sales is because the products are very expensive, often 2 to 10 times the cost of similar products in the store. It's hard to convince someone to pay $7 for a tube of toothpaste that they can get for $2 or less at the store. Another characteristic of these companies is that most of them stress the sales of tools to the salespeople. Tools include motivational books, CDs, meetings, personalized web pages, voicemails, rallies, etc. All of these tools add up to a significant expense. In fact, in the case of Amway, it has been disclosed by former representatives that even those who are fairly successful break even at best when the cost of these tools are subtracted from the commissions. The people at the top of the pyramid make enormous profits of the sales of these tools to their downline representatives. In fact, they usually make more money off these tool sales than they do from product commissions. As such, the people at the bottom are encouraged to spend enormous amounts of money on these tools under the guise that these tools are necessary for success. In fact, most of these tools are simply motivational and provide little or no real information that teaches you anything. MLM as a business strategy is exploitative, deceptive, and unfair. It lures people with false promises of success, money, but instead takes money from them. Another important thing to note is that popularity of MLMs increased during the times of economic crisis, which makes the situation worse. At a time when people are in desperate need of money to survive, MLMs suck what limited amount of money people have. An insider article states, people seek alternatives in times of uncertainty, especially when labor market actions might be less available. MLM recruiters are typically trained to target their pitches to people in need. They are encouraged to craft a narrative around why the MLM is the solution to the problem. This is why MLMs tend to attract people who fall into one of two categories: people who are experiencing income insecurity and those with an identity deficit. They see a gap in between where they are in life in terms of status and recognition and where they want to be. The recruiters are usually taught and encouraged to target those who are most vulnerable. This is absolutely disgusting. Instead of helping those who are in need, they further exasperate and exploit the situation. Even the FTC warns against joining MLMs, even those which are legitimate. They ask you to research the company, provide you a list of topics to research. These topics include: research the company. Search online for the name of the company and words like review, scam, or complaint. Research what distributors are saying. Individual distributors often post their own training videos online to promote the MLM. Search for these materials. Be suspicious if the trainings make earnings claims. Tell you the fastest way to make money is to recruit. Consider the products. MLM companies may sell quality items at competitive prices, but some offer goods that are overpriced, have questionable benefits, or are downright unsafe to use. Understand the cost. Many MLMs make you buy training or marketing material or pay for seminars on building your business. You may need to book travel and pay for hotels and meals. Make sure you know what you must pay for and how much it will cost over time. Ask about refunds. In many MLMs, before you can start selling the products, you have to buy them from the company. So get the company's refund policy in writing. All the refund policies in MLMs is rare because they earn profit mainly from selling to their independent consultants. Read the paperwork, have a friend or an advisor review it. Read the company's sales literature, business plan, disclosure documents, and any contracts or agreement you'll need to sign. Ask an accountant, a lawyer, or someone else you trust who is not affiliated with the company to help you review the MLM's material. It is extremely important to depend on data that is not provided by the company itself. MLMs often provide skewed data that favors them. Even with these precautions, I would not encourage anyone to join an MLM because sooner or later it will crash. MLMs are spreading like wildfire and can be found in almost every industry. The best ways to stop their spread is through spreading information. Learning how to avoid them would be the biggest hit on them because they earn through recruitments. Thank you all for watching till the end of the video. This is my very first video and I'm quite proud of how it came out. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, and if you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe and switch on the notification. Goodbye.